Fresh from the launch of the Tata Sierra, Tata Motors is back with two new products, but this time the changes are rather subtle under the hood, and these are the two, the Tata Harrier and the Tata Safari, that now get the Hyperion petrol engine. And to talk more about it with me is none other than Tata Motors Chief Product Officer, Mr. Mohan Savarkar. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you and welcome to this launch.
Firstly, congratulations on the Sierra's success, gaining popularity incredibly well. And lots of merit to it as well. The car is very good, but today is about these two cars. Finally get a petrol engine. So the first question would just be, what took so long and what were the challenges?
I know. So everything takes time and everything has a time. So if you're seen in India, even now, you'll find that when you speak of SUVs, normally it's a diesel. Okay, so if we want to make the transition, we could not have made this transition in Indian mindset 7 years ago. Maybe now is the right time. Now that people have experience around the world as to what can happen with gasoline, this is the right time.
Also, just specifically on the Safari and the Harrier, we saw 160 horsepower for the Sierra. These get slightly more horsepower, slightly more torque as well. But what were some of the areas that were specifically for these two cars that were developed with the entry?
Yeah. So, of course, you have to bump up the torque and the power. But the way these engines have been tuned for this car also take care of the fact that these cars are slightly heavier. So the torque profiles and the power profiles that are required to power these cars would have to get indexed in a way that provide you very high low-end torque. Meaning, for example, that this engine here produces 160 Newton meters at as low as 1000 RPM and 280 Newton meters from 1750 to 3500 horsepower. So that's quite a range for you to get a good torque from beginning itself. And that is possible because of the variable geometry turbocharger that we have used, which has got a very low mass turbine wheel. So, and the variability of it allows us to make sure that we are able to pump in more air into the engine so that we can extract more power right from 1000 RPM.
Right. And all those little advancements also mean refinement is slightly better as well.
Yes.
You worked on that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the refinement, of course, we have done several things. So there is a VGT that works well. Then the injectors, each of them have its own isolators. There's a good way to make sure that the air intake noise is also taken care of by using an accumulator. Then the block and other parts of the engine have also been strengthened to make sure the engine emanates less noise. Because we have smaller things like there's a piston cooling nozzle, which is switch on, switch off. There is oil pumps, which is switch on, switch off. So all these things put together contribute to the refinement of the car.
And the big one, fuel efficiency. With a big petrol car, people expect low fuel efficiency numbers. But I believe this has been worked on that front as well.
So the way that we have done is we have an excellent engine that has a Miller cycle. It's called Miller 160, which no one in India has yet. Okay. So what this does is it stops the intake port at 160 degrees VDC and the engine keeps on expanding so that the air that is taken in gets enough time to cool down before fuel is injected. This improves the thermal efficiency. This is what gives it the extra fuel efficiency that you see on the car when you need fuel efficiency.
Yeah.
When you don't need fuel efficiency, the Miller can be switched off or tapered off. And then the car works like a regular turbocharged super engine, which gives you very high torque to begin with.
So why absolute size of the engine is what people have been looking at in India.
Yeah.
Worldwide, you'll not see this as an important parameter.
Yeah.
What matters is what the engine does in this car. If you go, let's say, to Europe, you'll find cars of this size driven by 1.2 liter engines very successfully and selling large numbers. This is something that will come to India, and maybe this is the right time for us to bring it to India.
Okay. Now, just moving aside from the engine onto the gearbox, with the Sierra, you mentioned with Hormuz that a torque converter was better suited because of the smoothness it offered, and the DCT was better for the NA. With this one, is it the same story? Is it the torque range that is the reason?
For this kind of car, one has to go with automatic transmissions of torque converter type only. This is what gives it the best combination of how the torque transmits and the kind of refinement that you get, the smoothness of ride that you get. You just can't make out what RPM it is running on, what gear it is running on, works so well.
So much has gone into the engine. just a general thought, overall engine development, do you see it getting plateaued? Like we've gone so far with, there's so much now sophistication wise. Do you think now upgrading this engine would be small minor adjustments and modifications, or do you think there is room for some big development?
So if we had met like this 20 years ago,
Yeah.
one would have thought that we have reached the end. But in the last 20 years, we have seen a lot of improvement. And so this journey will continue. I mean, there will be new tech being developed that will make sure that we are able to extract the maximum energy from the fuel and waste as less as possible and transmit as much as possible to the wheels. This journey will go on. Sure.
Also, in the Sierra interview, I was seeing you mentioned that the Sierra was capable of a hybrid or a strong hybrid. With cars like these, people don't mind paying the extra bit of premium, even if it goes slightly expensive. But would having a hybrid option would be a good idea? Is it something that is in the pipelines?
So it is in our strategy table. It is being considered very seriously. This engine is of course capable. The car is also capable of housing the hybrid. So that part is not an issue. It's a matter of
When?
taking the call and then going ahead.
Okay. So that's quite interesting to know. And my final question: if you had to choose between one, would you choose a diesel Harrier or a petrol Harrier?
The petrol Harrier is much better, much smoother.
Wow.
We really feel like driving a very high-end car.
Well, Mrs. Savarkar, thank you so much for your time. Can't wait to drive it. Can't wait to experience it. It's been a long time coming. A brand new Tata petrol engine. So you heard it from the horse's mouth. This is the Tata Safari and the Tata Harrier with the Hyperion petrol engine. We're going to drive it very, very soon and get you the full review out. So please make sure to subscribe to the Autocar India channel. And if you haven't already, hit that bell icon as well.